Hey guys, welcome back. So today's viewer question is from Pantera P7B, and I'm cheating today because he didn't ask me this question directly, but I was watching one of my favorite Crown Vic channels and he asked this question down in the comments section, and it reminded me of a similar experience that I had happen to me. So I'll put a link to the video down below of the question, and it was on Hollywood Hornets channel, and in that video he's showing how to replace the ball joints on his 2002 P71. So let me read Pantera's question. So he says, is there an average mileage at which the ball joints need to be replaced? I ask because 2 weeks ago I went for an alignment and was told by a tire shop that I needed upper and lower ball joints replaced. My car has 69,000 miles on the odometer. I figured they were trying to scam me. And as soon as I read that, it reminded me of my own situation back in 2014 when I took this car, my 2004 Crown Vic, for an oil change. My local Ford dealer sent me a coupon for a $10 oil change, and I just couldn't pass it up. So I took it in there for the oil change, and when I came to pick up the car, they handed me the courtesy inspection 30-point checklist. And the service writer says the mechanic did this courtesy check on your car and everything looks good, but you need ball joints for your car. And as soon as he said that, I was a little skeptical because I had just got an alignment about a year ago at a different Ford dealer, and I didn't have any irregular tire wear problems. I didn't have any drivability issues, and I didn't have any clunking or noises that would indicate that my ball joints were bad. So I said, okay, go ahead and write up the estimate and I'll take it home with me and think about it. So when I got home, I got on the internet and I started looking around, and it turns out in my home state we have all of these laws, all of these obscure automotive laws that pretty much nobody knows about until it's too late and something happens, and then they find about these laws after the fact. So in my home state, we have this law called Code of Regulations 3360.2, and what it refers to is accepted trade standards of automotive repair. And they have different sections that go over all different types of repair, like engine repair, transmission repair, and ball joint replacement, and all of the different various components that are somewhat expensive to replace. So I found this law, and it's got A through F, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's got 6 different points in here, and it's all written in legalese where the normal person could not understand it. So I've had to read this several times. And what I've done is I've narrowed it down into 4, and I've put it in plain English. So basically what it says is, all automotive repair dealers engaged in the sale and installation of ball joints shall be subject to the following requirements. 1. The ball joints must be measured with a specifically designed instrument. And what I think they're talking about is a dial indicator. 2, the instrument must be calibrated. So I guess they got to keep the dial indicator in good working order and making sure it's calibrated. And number 3, they must document the manufacturer wear specification and the actual measurement on the customer invoice. So basically what that means is, when I picked up my car for the oil change, and when the tire shop told Pantera P7B, what they should have done is they should have handed him a estimate or a work order, and it should list the manufacturer's specification for the wear, They should have measured it and written down their actual measurement, and then of course write down the cost of the parts and the labor and all that other good stuff. So of course once I found this out, I knew that maybe something wasn't going on properly at my dealership when I took it in for the oil change. So I didn't go back in there to get my ball joints replaced. So I went ahead and looked these up myself, and using my service literature, what I've done is I've pulled up Pantera's P7B 2010 Crown Vic Police Interceptor, and I've looked up the wear specifications. So for the lower ball joint, the wear out tolerance is 16 thousandths of an inch, and down here there's a footnote. It says replace ball joint if play exceeds specification. And on the upper ball joint it says wear out, or the maximum tolerance is 8 thousandths of an inch, and of course it says replace ball joint if play exceeds specification. So the next thing I wanted to know is I wanted to look up how much labor it is to replace these ball joints. So I looked that up in my service literature, and to replace both lower ball joints it says 1.7 hours of labor, and to replace both upper control arms it's 2.2 hours of labor. So and then I went over to AutoZone and I looked up these parts, and both upper control arms are $80 each, and both lowers are $42 each. So my local, or today at today's rate, my local Ford dealer they charge $220 an hour for shop labor. So it would be $858 in labor and about $200 in parts, so a grand total of $1,102. So if in fact Pantera's P7B did need the ball joints, of course that would be a good repair, but if they were within specifications and they didn't need to be replaced, that would be an awful lot of money to spend on something that you don't need. And I found this document here. This is the wheel alignment printout from my own 2004 Ford Crown Victoria, and this, my last alignment check was November of 2018, and I had the alignment checked on the front, and they checked the camber and the toe on the front end. They did not check the caster, but either way it passed, and I checked my tires and I don't have any irregular tire wear. So what I'm trying to say is Pantera's question about the mileage, I really don't think there is a mileage. I think you need to visually inspect them and then measure them with a dial indicator, because as you can see, my 2004 Crown Vic with with 160,000 miles is still on the factory original ball joints, and not to mention all the other suspension components, the shocks, the struts, the rear control arms, and pretty much everything else. So hopefully if you take your Crown Vic in and they say you need ball joints, maybe you'll remember this video and you'll ask them, hey, that's great, can you give me a written document with the wear out specification, what the measurement is, and then give me an estimate for parts and labor. And hopefully that will prevent having a repair done that doesn't need to be done. Okay, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.